I think it challenges this idea that we have a certain gendered role that makes you a woman, and I think once you challenge that, people tend to feel like you are now throwing the whole system away. And I would consider myself a moderate feminist. So what that looks like is I do want my door still open, please. I still shave my legs and everywhere else. I give compliments to men if I see them on the street. I have no problem giving compliments to a man.
So do you think Africans and Caribbeans see like feminism and like womanism in a negative light?
Oh, of course.
Why?
Yeah. I think it challenges this idea of submission from women, by the woman in the marriage. I think it challenges this idea that we have a certain gendered role that makes you a woman. And I think once you challenge that, people tend to feel like you are now throwing the whole system away.
So it's like a part of the culture, and like once you try to stand up to that, it's like how dare you? Right?
Now you're throwing a religion away. You're throwing like family structure away. You're saying you don't need a man. I need a man.
Did you hear that? Okay. I'm gonna drop.
Definitely.
I'm gonna drop Athena's social media handles so you can just check.
Please.
Okay, no, I see what you mean, because it's almost like a structure, right?
Yes.
That's the culture. So people are like, why do you want to change this? Because it's like a part of our lifestyle. So when you bring up all these ideas, it's like, why do you want to change it? So it's almost like this is how we live our lives.
Right.
So you have to kind of keep going in this direction, or else we won't accept it, right?
But I mean, come on, like that was the same thing with slavery, right? If we didn't question the way that we thought prior to, and we said that these people deserve freedom, then we would never have freedom.
True.
Right? So there has to be someone that says, hey, I'm not saying that you have to live yourself a particular way. I'm not saying your life has to be this particular way. But what I am saying is that you have to ask yourself, why do you feel like you are so tied to these specific roles?
That you can make changes.
Right. Why can't you make changes? Even with religion, I think you should be able to say, I believe this because. And if you do not have a because for each individual person, then that's a problem.
Yeah, and I even think as you develop, you have like better knowledge, right?
Right.
So you should be able to kind of reassess your thinking.
Yes.
How you approach issues, right?
For sure.
Based on new knowledge. So that's kind of what you're trying to say, because
exactly.
It's actually an interesting question for you, Athena.
Okay.
So what does it feel like dating a feminist? I mean, like, because.
So you mean like if I'm dating a man that's a feminist, or if you're a guy and you're asking me out?
Okay, are you a feminist actually?
Oh yeah, definitely a feminist. Everyone, there you go. Everyone should be a feminist.
Why?
Because everyone has a mother. I think that's a good enough reason.
You want to explain that?
Yeah, so if you have a mother and you care about your mother, then I think that that's enough reason for you to say that your mother deserves a freedom and equal rights to choose. And if she was a good mother to you especially, I would think that you would be an advocate for that. If you have sisters, if you have really good close friends that are women, all of these people, right? So if you cannot agree with the idea that your sister or your friend should be making less than you or someone else that is doing the same exact job, or should have equal rights in healthcare, or should have equal rights in an ability to maneuver the world, feel safe in the world, feel safe in their body, then I don't know if you should be human.
Okay.
That's just how I feel.
Personally, you should be a feminist.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much if you think every human being deserves equal treatment, then
Right.
you're a feminist.
Right.
Interesting. So what does it feel like dating a feminist?
Yeah, so dating a feminist. Yeah, so there are different types of feminists. Some feminists are very, very involved, and so they are extreme. Like Black Panthers, for example.
Yeah.
So you need those types of people to be able to push the movement further, obviously.
Okay.
But on the flip side of that, I would consider myself a moderate feminist.
Okay.
So what that looks like is I do want my door still open, please.
Okay.
I still shave my legs.
Okay.
And everywhere else. I still work and I enjoy my career, but I do want a family. I want to prioritize that at some point in my life. So it's all of these things. I think every woman is different.
Yeah.
But I think it's about a matter of you not shaming a woman if her desire is different than what is considered normal, right? Because what is normal?
True, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So actually, my own personal question is going to be this: in our typical African and Caribbean culture, the man walks up to the lady to ask the lady out, right?
Right.
So as a feminist, are you going to walk up to your guy to ask him out? Like it's equal.
It is equal.
Like equality, right?
So
and how are you going to do that?
Okay. So should I walk up right now? I'm just kidding.
I mean, you want to try.
But I'm not against it. And the reason, I think that there's a difference between showing an interest and also pursuing someone. So I think that for me, I believe that a man is just like a woman in the sense that they have insecurities, right? And so that's what I'm saying when I say feminism is freedom for men. Because you have your own insecurities the same way I have my own insecurities. You don't want to be rejected the same way I don't want to be rejected.
True.
And so if I understand that as a woman, as a human, then that means that if I'm interested in you, have no problem in just avoiding all of that, right? By saying, hey, I'm interested. If you're interested, we should hang out. But I'm not gonna go to the length of pressuring you
yes.
Right. So that may look like me showing an interest or me expressing an interest, but it may not look like me saying, on this day, on this time, you know what I mean? I may leave that up for you to do.
True.
So that you still feel like you're kind of, because I'm a feminist and I'm also a Christian, so I still feel like there's space in my life for a man to lead certain exchanges for me.
So there's not like a personal preference, I guess.
Right.
Okay, but talking about you making the first move, you want to talk about your exact experience? How was that? And what was his response? Because like that's interesting too. Because like if you're a lady, right, it's kind of really difficult to go meet a guy and he says no.
Yeah.
You're gonna make like your next encounter very, very awkward. So.
Right. Okay, so for an example, I've slid in DMs a few times.
Can we have the guy's name? Okay.
Oh. And the times that I have, I've never been shot down. So I think also as women, we fail to recognize that we have an advantage, which is that men don't experience that often.
Yeah.
And so when they do get a chance to have a woman slide in their DM,
like they feel very special.
They feel very special, right? And so at the very least, they're going to be kind with the letdown. So you don't have to worry about someone being disrespectful or anything. They're always going to be kind with the letdown. Have I been let down? Not thus far.
Okay.
But I definitely have slid in a DM before and kind of backed out, shy, like been shy and backed out. But if I did slide in, I would just say, hey, you know, like I like your content. Tell me more about yourself. Or
that's like too vague. Sorry. Like, have you ever been like, hey, baby boy, I think you did really good. Do you want to catch up tomorrow?
I wouldn't say, hey, baby boy. But I would say something like, I think you're very attractive. Okay. I give compliments to men if I see them on the street.
Oh, nice.
I have no problem giving compliments to a man because I find that they don't hear that enough.
Yeah.
And I believe in uplifting all black people, to be honest. All people, but specifically black people.
Yeah.
So if I can see your hair is natural, I will specifically say, I love your natural hair. Because I want you to feel like someone in the world is seeing you and saying, wow, that's good. You don't have to change that for anybody.
Yeah.
Not for a job, not for a woman, not for anybody.
Yeah.
You're perfect just the way that you are.
Oh.
So I'm very intentional about that. So I feel like I have a different level of freedom than most women, to be honest.
This is very interesting. I've learned like a lot talking about feminism.
Yes, womanism.
Yeah, and
people don't know about that.
Yeah, like it's a big deal. Like talking about feminism and womanism and gender equality, like it's actually very interesting. Like having to accept both genders as equal, like that's going to help black people a lot in terms of uplifting like women and helping them have equal opportunities. So it's been really interesting. And we're going to talk about solutions afterwards, and then we'll be right back. Okay.
Awesome.